And we are live. Welcome, everyone. And here we are, another episode of Face the Camera. And today, I'm going to ask you this one question. The question is, of all the successful people out there who are doing, hang on a second, I'm getting an echo here. That's so interesting. All right. We'll cut that off. I was sharing a screen on the inside and I just learned something that I can't do that at the same time. So I have this one question for you today. And the question is, of all the successful business people, particularly the online business people, the people who are making their living by marketing themselves on the internet, they don't have to sell everything on the internet, but they're doing mainly of the marketing, mainly all the things that they're doing to show up are they're doing it online. What is the one thing that they all have in common? Everyone has this. Who is successful? Have any ideas? If you have an idea, go ahead and stick it in the chat. I'd love to see your guesses. And I'll give you the answer. Ready? It's an email list. And today we are talking about how to get this thing, how to create an email list quickly, easily, and how to do it when you're going live, how to do it on your live videos and on your live streams. So this is the topic for today. How to build your email list when you go live. And I'm basically going to share 3 easy, fast techniques to doing this that you can put into action right away. And these are things that, you know, even if you have a very small list or you don't have any list at all, this is something you can do the very next time you go live, and you can start putting this into practice. And between now and the end of the year, you will start growing your list and you'll see new people come on. And the advantage of doing this is that no matter how big a visibility you have on social media, no matter what you're doing on all the different platforms or your favorite platform, whatever that is for you, you need to take a look at what happens off the platform. And you basically want to be moving people from joining you on Facebook or joining you on YouTube and putting them into your own domain. And your email list is, in fact, that for you. You own it and it's yours. And no matter what happens with the algorithm, no matter what happens with Facebook, if they close down or they kick you off or any of that stuff, you will still have your list. And your list is made up of the people who are most engaged with you. They are the people who are most into your content and the work you do and are looking for the solutions that you provide. So it's a really valuable thing to cultivate and to nurture. And today we're going to talk about the 3 simple ways that I know of that I'm going to share with you that you can get started building your list and making it grow when you're doing live video, when it's connected to live video. And I don't see too many people teaching this. So if you're here, go ahead and say hello in the chat. I'd love to see who's here. All right, Dimitri's here. Awesome. Really great to see you. He says, email rocks. I'm all ears. Yes, it sure does. And you know, I'll just give you a little anecdote. I mean, when I started this business, I had a big email list from a previous company that I was running, which was a music business. And even though it was a really large list, you know, at its peak, it was over 80,000 people on that list. When I changed, you know, my work and I changed into doing what I do now, that list became basically completely useless as far as this new business. So I had to start over from scratch. And this is where I've been marrying these tools, the idea of using live video and doing list building and seeing how well that can work. And I actually think that they're a marriage made in heaven. And that's why I'm excited to be sharing these things with you today. And Kathy's here. Interesting topic. Love it. Great. Awesome. Thanks for joining. And so let's dive in. Oh, look, Phil is here all the way from New Zealand. And Kristen is here checking in from Facebook. Thanks, Kristen. I'm glad you appreciate my ideas. All right, so what is thing number one? Thing number one, this is the simplest one. This is the easiest strategy that you can put into effect. And it's so simple that like tomorrow, the next time you go live, the very next video you make, you can include this in the video. And so basically what you're wanting to offer is you wanting to offer and invite people to subscribe to your show. And the context for this is that when you're going live, and I'm a big advocate of this, you want to turn your live videos, the live video presentation that you're doing, you want to turn it into a weekly show, a weekly event that you're bringing people to, a weekly event that people will want to come to and show up for, a weekly event that they will not want to miss. So, and this is different than going live randomly or going live whenever you feel like, which you can do, like in between your main event, you can do more spontaneous live streams. I call them life streams. And so after your run, when you're getting out of the gym, when you're finishing your breakfast, when you're getting your kids off to school, when you're driving on your commute, when you're, whatever you're doing something interesting or something not so interesting, whatever that is for you, like the thing that you do, you can do a live stream. And that's a time when you can just share your idea, your insight, your moment of the day, and that's great. And when you do those live streams, the call to action is always going to be, don't miss my next show. You're going to be telling people among your, along with your insight and all the other things that you're suggesting to them, you're going to tell them, join me at my show. Join me on the live stream that I'm doing. And like right now, I go live 2 times a week. I do this show, which is called Face the Camera. It's every Tuesday at 3 p.m. and Eastern Time. And then every Thursday at 3 p.m., I do a second show, which is called Live Stream Stories. And so now I'm doing 2 shows per week, and you can join me on either one or both of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, if you want to never miss a show, if you want to never miss out, then you can subscribe to my show. And then I can invite you to do any number of things. I can invite you to go to a landing page where you enter your email. I could simply say subscribe in the comments. And then I would send you a link to where you could go and do that. I would follow up with you. And the idea here is that by inviting people to become subscribers, now they could actually be a certain segment of your list. You can tag them and that kind of thing if you have the right kind of list building tools. And now all of the people who have raised their hand and said, I want to subscribe to your show, every time you are going live, you send them an invitation and you send them an email saying, I'm going live today again. And this is what today's topic is. And this is why you don't want to miss it. And here's what I'm going to do at the end, and so on and so forth. And that way you're keeping these people engaged. And this is something you can do frequently and often. Every time you're talking about your show, you can make an invitation that people can subscribe to the show. And this will help grow your list. There are lots of people out there who will have fear of missing out. They won't want to be like out of touch with whatever it is that you're doing. They won't want to miss some important piece of content that you're doing. And if you have the kind of show which is really more of an event, like if you're inviting guests and there's things that happen that are, one-time only events that you're doing as part of your live stream, this sort of up the stakes for being present, and it ups the stakes for people who actually want to get in touch with you and stay with you. And it ups the stakes for all of your people in terms of like, well, if I don't know about it, I will miss it and I'll really want to be there. So that's number one. Get people to subscribe to your show. I'm going to pause for just a second and see comments if you have any questions about anything I'm talking about. Right. Right. So Dimitri says, subscribe to my show, weekly event. Does it matter what I call it? A vlog? Yeah, I don't think it matters, although it's really good to call it something. You know, if it's an actual show, I would give your show a name, give it a title. One of the things that I think that people who do live video can learn a lot from is to learn from the world of podcasting. And so, yeah, you can call yourself a vlogger, but the definition of a vlogger, like technically speaking, what a vlogger does is a vlogger shows you like, what is my day today? And I'm going to try and make a story out of all the things that are going on in my day today. And I'll edit that down and I'll post that. And so you see a lot of vloggers posting on YouTube, and they're doing sometimes even daily videos. And they're basically like a video diary of their life, of what's going on for them, or a video diary of their work. And that is, technically, strictly speaking, that's what vlogging is. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a vlog, although the practice of going live and doing it regularly is a form of vlogging. But I see it more akin to video podcasting. And so treat your show like a podcast and call it, you know, give it a name just the way a podcaster would. And always deliver it at the same time every single week so people know when to expect you there. And every episode should have a title and a, you know, like here's the thing that we're going to talk about on this next episode. And so people have a real reason to show up, and they have a real reason to not want to miss your episode. So I hope that's helpful. And Kathy says, which tools do you use to capture emails? That's a great question. So I use a tool called ConvertKit, and I love ConvertKit. And in fact, if you're interested in using this particular tool, you can sign up on ConvertKit for free. I think they give you a lot of time for free, like up until you get more than 1,000 people on your list, you can still have a free account. So it's a really good deal just to start with. And what I find about ConvertKit that is really helpful is that it integrates really well with all kinds of things, like the calendar that I use so people can schedule a call with me, and all these different tools like Zoom. It integrates really well with that. So when I'm having Zoom meetings with people, I can get them, you know, people schedule a meeting and we're going to have a Zoom call, and then automatically they're put onto my email list. It's really, really handy. And it's really, it does everything any other email service will do for you. And then it has these other extra benefits. Like, for instance, it has a whole set of landing pages. So, you know, like the tool Lead Pages, ConvertKit has a bunch of lead pages that you can use and connect it to your email. So using ConvertKit, you don't even need a website. You can just use their landing page tool and their email tool. And anytime you want to come up with some new offer or some new thing that you're going to offer to people in order to get on your list, in order to subscribe to your email, you can very quickly, using a template, create a nice looking landing page and then just say, okay, go to this new landing page. And it integrates right onto WordPress. I mean, it's a great versatile tool. It's really inexpensive. And if you're interested in using it, say I want ConvertKit, and I will respond and I'll give you a special link so that you will get a discount if you ever decide to buy it or have to get to a place where you're going to get a paid level of ConvertKit. So that's my answer to that question. Let's go back here and see what else we got. Right. So hang on. This is a longer one. Video podcasting. Let's see. Name it. Same time, same station. Right. Promote reason for them to attend. Exactly. And ConvertKit. Thank you for taking notes. That's so great. I love it when people take notes. So these are the main points. These are the takeaways right here. All right, so that's thing number one. And before I go on to thing number two, I want to acknowledge that this show right here and the show that I'm doing on Thursday, they're all sponsored by my new best friends over at Restream. And Restream are these guys. And the reason that I'm mentioning them is that if you're doing all this stuff, like if you're going live and you're wanting to build your list and you're wanting to reach the greatest number of people that you can, you don't have to be limited to pick just one platform. This is the cool thing. Like, you don't have to just go live onto Facebook. You don't have to just go live onto YouTube. Using Restream, you can now go live onto a whole bunch of platforms at the same time. So like right now in this moment, I think as you guys may be seeing, I'm going live on Facebook. So some of you are on Facebook watching this. I'm also going live on YouTube. So some of you are watching from YouTube. I'm also going live directly onto LinkedIn, which is a fantastically great place to go live. And the fourth location that I use is Twitter. And even on Facebook, I go live onto my profile page and my business page and also my private group page. All of those at the same time. And those aren't the only choices. There's something like over 30 different social media platforms that you can multicast simultaneously onto using this tool Restream, which I think this is such a great breakthrough product. And it's really easy to use. It's really intuitive, and you can join right away. I think I have a link for you. If you're interested in just checking it out, you can start using it for free. And if you use this particular link, restream.io/join/showup, then if you decide to upgrade and get a paid level, you will get a discount. You'll get a credit for doing that. So this is, just go check it out and see what it does for you. I just love this tool. It's so amazing. I've been using it now for, probably about 6 weeks. And the more I use it, the better I like it. And yeah, what else can I say? So now, thing number two. Thing number two, and I just want to get to the right title here. You want to offer a free content upgrade. So if the first thing was just simply inviting people to subscribe to your show, the second thing is that while you're talking about a particular topic, while you're solving a particular problem, there's only so much that you're going to be able to do in your live video. And of course, people who are there and they're getting engaged with you, they're going to want to go deeper. They want to go more. They want to basically want all of the answer, or as much of the answer as they can get. So you can create a free content upgrade. So this is a freebie, some kind of thing that is information, more information that you can give them for free. So this could be a short video training that you create. It could be a simple PDF that has, more of the answer or some kind of guide for them. And you want to keep this fairly simple, and you want to keep this fairly easy to consume. So don't give them a free book that'll take them, hours to read. That's not the right idea. You want to give them something really simple that will give them a quick win. And when you give people a quick win, basically what happens is dopamine goes off in their brain and they start going, oh my gosh, I got a great solution here. This is so amazing. This was so helpful. And they're going to be wanting to do more and more. Like, they're going to want to show up to all your shows. They're going to want to consume all your content. And they probably will want to come and work with you and buy your products, whatever that looks like in your business. So this is a really easy one to do. And again, like using a tool like ConvertKit, you can create a landing page where people can go and put in their email address, and then immediately, as soon as they do that, they'll be taken to wherever your free thing is, whether it's a downloadable PDF or it's a video training. And, for example, I offer really often my awesome video toolkit. And what I do on my live videos, often, like, because it's such a broad thing, like I'm always talking about video, and everybody who is thinking about making video wants to know, what are the best tools to use? What are the best accessories for me to make my live videos look even better? How can I make my video look more professional? So people ask that question all the time. And so I say, well, if you want all of that, if you want to make really professional looking, Zoom calls and live calls and conference calls, all that kind of thing, I have this toolkit that basically is a little video training and a list of a few basic accessories that will help you jump your live videos into becoming really professional looking. So you'll end up looking like I do right now. So you want that, just write toolkit in the comments. So you guys can do that right now if you want. And this is my invitation. And this is the kind of invitation that you can make when you are basically inviting people to get your content upgrade. And your upgrade can be general, like mine is in this case, or it can be very specific to the thing that you're talking about. So I didn't create this, but I could have created a content upgrade for this live video that was very specific to building an email list. So I could create a list building guide for live streamers. That could be a great guide. And I would invite you to go and get the guide, and it's free. And all you're doing, you're getting the guide, you're getting something that you want. This is key. You want to create something that people actually want, and they're going to be happy to give you their email for. So that's number 2. And let's see. Looking down the comments, we have more hits. So Dimitri says he wants the toolkit. Phil asked me, how do you link the live video to the landing page? That's a great question. And so all I do is this. Every time you create a landing page, that landing page is going to have a unique URL. And so when I invite people to get the free thing, whether it's the invitation to subscribe to my show, or it's the free thing that I'm giving away, those would each have their own landing page. And in my case, I would build it on ConvertKit. I would create this little simple landing page that has an email form. And all it has is like, here's the title, like, here's subscribe to my show, put your name in the thing here and you'll be subscribed. That's all it says. And people go to that landing page. So how do they get there? Well, in the live video, I simply say, if you want to subscribe to my show, tell me in the comments, I want to subscribe to your show. And so everybody who says that in the comments, I will follow up after the video is over, and I will literally reply with the link to the landing page. Now, of course, I can also put that same link in the comments down below, and I can do that at any time. So typically what I do when I have the landing page done, and before I go live, I will schedule the live stream in advance. And using a tool like Restream, you can do this. You can schedule your live streams in advance. It's really easy to do. And once it's scheduled, then you can actually go to all the different places where the post is. Like when you schedule something on YouTube, you create a post. And it basically has a big image and it says coming soon, this stream, and it says when it's coming. And in the description down below, you can put anything you want, including any links that you want. So you can put in that description or in the comments anything you want to. Now, it's best practice on Facebook and LinkedIn to not put a link in the description. So after your thing is posted and it's scheduled, what you do is you just put it in the first comment. You say, here's where to go to get this thing that you are offering in the video, and put the link in. So here's where to go to subscribe to my show. Here's where to go to get my free thing. And you just write that in, put the link, put that in the first comment, and it'll be there. And then when you talk in your video, you can either invite people to comment, or you can say, and the link is down below in the comments, and people can go and find it and click on it. So I hope that's helpful. Answers that question. And we're just about to go on to thing number 3. Oh, look, all these people want the toolkit. Everybody wants the toolkit. I know, it's popular. And this is the thing, is that You want to be coming up with something that is really connected to your work that you know that people want. And for me, it was really obvious. Like every time I'm talking to people about video, their first question they ask is, how do I, what gear do I need? How do I make my videos look good? And people believe, and sometimes correctly, that the thing that makes your video look the best is getting really good gear. And I'm very much in the camp that you don't need the super best expensive camera. You don't need the super best expensive lighting. You can do a very simple thing with very inexpensive equipment and still have really nice looking, very professional looking video. And if you do this properly, set yourself up properly, you'll be way ahead of practically everyone else who's showing up on Zoom, including some famous newscasters that I'm sure you've seen out there who, they show up and often they're not looking all that great because their lighting is bad or their sound is bad or something like that. So we did the first two things. Offering to people subscribe to your show, and then offering a free thing, a content upgrade that is free. Those are the first two. Both of these you can put into practice immediately. You don't have to wait. Okay, thing number 3. You can, I'm just going to get to my captions here so I can put this on. You can host a live event. And what I mean by this is that, this is not a webinar, and this is not a full-blown online summit. You can host a live event that is a one-day, one-time only affair. And one of the ways to do this that works really well is that you reach out to 3 to 5 of your colleagues. You reach out to people who are basically working in the same space that you are, or in a parallel path, so that the people who follow them on social media are the same kind of people that you would like to have follow you. And then you corral them, you invite them to be part of this one-time only live event that you're going to create. And you can combine it as in you get together with each of them individually, one-on-one, in a series of live interviews, or you could do a panel discussion and you could have them all on together. You could do a 1 to 2 hour event with, 3 other people, and you could all be going live together and hosting a discussion and a dialogue and a Q&A around some topic that your audience wants to know about. And you could do this collaboratively with this group of people. And here's what happens. So again, using a tool like Restream, you can schedule this one-day event in advance. And so great, it's being scheduled, it's in advance, and now this post that you've done, which can be on YouTube, and it can be on LinkedIn, and it can be on Facebook, your other people, your guests, the people who you're bringing on to collaborate with you, they can also share that same post to their pages, wherever they are. So if you have somebody who's got a big following on Facebook, great. That's great. Bring them in, have them share it to their people on Facebook. And if you've got another person who happens to have this huge following on LinkedIn, fabulous. And then maybe you pick a third person who is a big YouTuber, and great, like they're going to share it onto YouTube in advance, and they can, tell all their friends on YouTube, all their followers, all the people subscribed to their channel, that it's coming. And of course, all of you can send an email to your collective list and your collective audience that this is going to happen. So how does this work for you? Well, it's so good. Like you get a landing page, which is how to register for the event. Now the event is going to be free, but in order to get the access to the live stream, they have to register and they have to put their email in order to be notified. And now they're going to be notified and they'll get an email list, but now they're on your list. And so all of the people coming from each of your guests, all of those people that they've invited, that somehow they brought in, they're going to now join and be part of your email list. So this is a way to grow your list using other people, basically using other people's audiences. And I'm going to tell you that this method of using other people's audiences to grow your own list is the fastest way to grow your list. It is the fastest way to grow your list. And I could repeat that 5 times and it probably wouldn't be enough. If you want to grow your list quickly, then you want to do something which is collaborative with other people who have an audience that is the same audience that you would like to have for yourself, and bring them in. Host a live event with them and get them to invite their people, and do it in a way that their people will have to register for the live event. And now anyone who does register, they're going to join your list, and now they'll be part of your world and part of your network. So yeah, live events, they work really well. And just keep it simple. Don't make it too complicated. And that's, this is like, these go up in levels of complexity. The first one, you basically don't have to hardly do anything. You get people to subscribe to your show. That's super simple. Second one, you have to produce some piece of content that people can go and get for themselves, whatever that's going to be. It should be something really simple. It shouldn't take very long to create it, but you do have to create it. So you're offering a free download, a free video, a free piece of content that's related to your live video. And that's sort of a second level of sophistication. And then the third one is now you're going to create a real event that has value because of the fact that you're collaborating with a group of people and it's one time only. And so people will be happy to trade their email in order to be part of that event. And you are getting the advantage of having access to other people's audiences. So what have we got here? Kathy says, would you say that live streams are more efficient than webinars? Oh, that is a really good question. Well, it depends on what you mean when you say live streams, but I often use, a webinar essentially is a live event. A webinar is essentially like when you do it live and you're not doing like the evergreen replay webinar style, but a webinar itself is a type of event. And a webinar can be something that is free and people just come in, or it could be a paid event as well. And I think they both work. And actually, I think one thing to be thinking about is that when you're doing your weekly show, you can treat that show like it's a master class, which is connected and related to being a webinar. The thing about webinars that I don't like is that most webinars, the webinars we're all most used to, have been done the same way for a really long time. And I think the medium of webinars is getting kind of old and tired. And the formula that most people use for webinars, which is basically get on my webinar, I'm going to give you a little smidgen of content, and then I'm going to try and upsell you on some expensive program, and I'm going to do it right now in this moment while you're here. That formula is something that a lot of people have been, hit with, like, too many vacuum cleaner salesmen knocking on your door. And so the effectiveness of that technique is basically, I think, wearing out. Like, it's just not as effective. It's hard to get people to come to that kind of webinar. It's hard to get people to register, and then it's hard to get people who register to actually show up. And so by doing this other strategy, this other live stream strategy, where you're creating something that is much more about I'm being generous and much more about I'm giving you value here, and I'm wanting you to, be engaged and stay engaged with what we're doing. And I'm taking you on a journey. Like, your whole show aspect, the live stream show that you're creating, is a season-long journey of transformation, a journey of getting closer to the desirable outcome of the people who are watching your show. So in that way, yes, these live streams are going to be more effective than a webinar. And I hope that's helpful because, when you say webinar, you could be talking about a lot of different kinds of things. All right. So, right. So I'm just my takeaway here is number one, grow your list. Your list is one of the most valuable assets that you can create in terms of the online business creation world. Like if you're an online entrepreneur, if you're a course creator, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a service provider, even if you're selling products, having a mailing list is going to do a couple of things. One is that's going to add resilience. So, no matter what, no matter how long the pandemic lasts, no matter even if we get another pandemic, no matter if the sky starts falling, no matter if Facebook goes bankrupt, no matter if YouTube, blocks your channel and you're no longer able to be on YouTube after you've amassed, thousands of subscribers there and you've done all that work. None of those disasters need affect you if you have built a robust mailing list that's full of people who are engaged with you. And so if you are using live video and you're doing a live video show that is like a podcast and it's delivering content that is something that people don't want to miss out on, it's that valuable. If you're doing that, then building your email list becomes really easy, and the people who are on your email list will want to be there. And the people on your email list will look forward to the emails that you send because they know that it's telling them something that they want to know. It's telling them about the next event that you're inviting them to that they don't want to miss. And that's the secret. That's it right there. And if you can put these two things together and you can do it well, you win the game. You win the game and you will be resilient and you will have a successful business and you will have the lifestyle that you want and all those other good things. So thanks so much, you guys, for joining today. Thanks to Restream for sponsoring this show. If you want to go check out Restream, I'll put that comment up again. It's Restream. Let's see, where did it go? Here it is, restream.io/join/show up. And by all means, keep showing up, keep going live, and don't forget Thursday at 3 p.m. is my next show. On the next show that I'm doing on Thursday, I'm going to be talking about how to generate stories for your videos. So one of the biggest things that I see for people that's a big headache and a big problem when they're going live week after week after week is like, well, what am I going to talk about next week? What are the topics that I can come up with? And in particular, if I want to engage people, I need to be able to tell good stories. And so how do I come up with enough good stories so that, I'm not telling the same old story again and again? So I'm going to share a really great technique for doing this. Really simple. You can put it into practice right away and it will generate endless numbers, hundreds, like I'm not exaggerating, hundreds of story ideas, hundreds of topics, so that you will never, ever run out of ideas for what to do on your future live streams. So that's it for today. Thanks again for joining, and I'll see you Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern